bittersweet changes. Life's got me feeling so anxious, trying to change it. My friends are all losing their patience.
Hey, Nick Archibald from the Top 40 on 5 here. I'm sitting with Jamie. Fine.
Your last name's Archibald?
Yes, it is, yeah.
You're so impressive.
I do it for the mommies. I mean the people. Sorry, I do it for the people. But I mean also, to be fair, mommies make people.
Whoa, that math is mathin', dude.
I do it for the mommies.
Archibald.
No, I'm joking. Archibald? I love that. Can that be my promo for my show?
I just made you cut that. Archibald.
Archibald. This year, Archibald. Just all of that. I love that. Jamie, thanks so much for being here. Firstly, you're amazing. Wow, can we get a round of applause? I never have an audience for this.
No.
Cannot wait to hear the 5 listening sessions because genuinely I was blown away. I was sitting right there and I was just blown away the entire time. One thing I love about my job over the last couple of years and working in a place like 5FM is watching artists like you, international artists, become South African. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
I feel South African.
I phoned Home Affairs, they said yes. It'll only arrive in 5 years' time, but you'll get a passport.
I'm patient.
That's what I'm talking about. But it's so incredible. So the story behind is born out of trying to understand songs on a deeper level. But before we get into that, I want to understand you on a deeper level. Who is Jamie Fine? And that is a hard question, I know. But who is Jamie Fine?
I mean, the emotional response is. I'm really just I like to say that I'm not linear in any way. My emotions aren't linear. My trajectory in life isn't linear. Like I'm constantly changing and evolving and learning. And I love that about me. And I love that about how we all should be, really, is like continuing to develop as human beings. And that comes across in everything that I do, career, family, relationships. And so I think that's the best way I know how to explain me is I'm just like an imperfect, non-linear human being. And I love that about myself.
And I love that you're so you. Like you walked in here and immediately I felt gravitated towards you. Your energy is so beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Is that something that you've always felt within yourself? Walking into a room, going to school, whatever the case may be, there's this energy about you. Do people resonate with that?
It's funny because the first time I experienced that side of me was in high school. I figured out who I was in high school. And before that, I was really heavily bullied. And it was a direct correlation between me not knowing who the hell I was. I just didn't know who I was. And therefore, other people didn't know how to define me. And when I figured out who I was as a human being, it translated in every walk of life. And I think the thing is that I'm very unforgivably me. And some people loathe me. So as you just described me, other people would say obnoxious, and I am. But some people love it and some people hate it, and I think that's life. That's the point. I don't like a lot of people. If I'm being candid with you, I like Archibald, but I don't like a lot of other people.
Okay, that's the interview. I'm done.
Yeah. Zoom in on that. No, but I don't expect everyone to love me. I just I'm me, and I adapt where necessary, but my core, I don't have any inkling to change because I worked really hard on who I am as a person, you know?
I love that so much. Jenny, I mean, I think we're all on this big journey of life, and to hear that from someone is huge. So thank you for saying that, because I'm sure there's been people listening to this, watching this going, that's super inspirational.
I hope so.
Because it is, and I think journeys throughout life, I mean, there's 45-years trying to figure out who they were, or who they are,
Freaking right.
who they want to be, and to hear that's really powerful.
Maybe changes. Life's got me feeling so anxious, trying to change it. My friends are all losing their patience.
Let's get into the songs, get into Seconds Away. You said a little bit earlier, this was a big moment for you. It's a big song for you. Take me to that day. Parents were phoning, labels were phoning, sisters were What was that news, and what pushed you to get into studio that day?
So I think I can't even remember the specific call. I think it was probably from my manager, and it was I think we had asked for something about tour. I don't even know the specifics, and they said no, and I was like, okay, and it was the last straw. I was like, cool, hung up the phone, and I always say that when I get a bit of bad news. So if I get it at 11 in the morning, I give myself the day and one sleep. If I get it at 8 p.m. at night, I give myself the remaining night and one sleep. When I wake up in the morning after a good night rest, it's problem-solving mode. Figure it out. feel your feelings and then figure out how to not feel that way anymore. And that just kind of works for me, and it's always worked for me. This day, it was not working for me. It was call after call, as you said, and from everybody, and it was personal, and then it was business, just bad news after bad news. So I called my producer, Bynan, who does kind of all my stuff, and he's amazing. And I was like, we need to hop on a Zoom right now because he's a couple hours away from me. And he was like, okay, do you want to write a song? And I was like, yeah, I sure do, because it's that or punch 15 walls. So we hop on a Zoom, and in 20 minutes flat, we wrote Seconds Away. And he was working on production, and I was just like spewing these lyrics of like, ugh. And 20 minutes later, the top line was done, and 2.5 hours, the entire song was done.
That is wild. Especially the ugh.
Yeah. It's probably an ad. I should have put that ad lib in there, to be honest.
I'll do it. Don't worry. Every time we play it on 5FM, I'll ad lib for you. I got you. So that's that Zoom call. Like you say, did it last those first 20 minutes, and you were like, or did you feel like you had still like energy, pent up anger left in you, or did you leave it all out there?
I feel like I always have pent up energy, anger in me. To be honest, it was the perfect example of why music is so important in my life. As trivial as it sounds, I wrote the song and I was like, all right. Because at least I put it in something, right? And I think that is the most important part of what I do on such an emotional level is it's for me first. Like I didn't write that song for anybody else. I wrote it for me. And people happen to relate to it because of course everyone experiences being frustrated with life or relationships or whatever it is. So yeah.
I mean, you say in the song, how do I say this? And that's
how
you said it.
I probably should take that lyric out. That's crazy. It's a little.
I've said too much.
Yeah.
They're coming for me.
Don't analyze me.
I love it. And for me, the line that hits me the hardest is in the second verse, questioning if this is all enough.
Maybe I quit questioning if this is all enough. Wondering if I'm just out of luck.
I feel that on such a deep level because, you know, as young people, as people struggling to find their own identities in a world that is constantly changing, questioning who you are and what you're doing is massive.
Yeah.
Did that come from that conversation with your label, with your family, with your sister, etc.?
Yeah, I think I embrace that kind of sentence and sentiment as a whole. I think you said it perfectly that we're living in a tough world. Like there's no question about it. We've never had more access to more information. We've never had more access to more people. There's never been more hate in the world. There's also never been more love in the world. Like there's just such an overconsumption of everything. And I think as somebody that's very emotional, I struggle with that a lot. And putting that phrase in the song was, me kind of saying it, but at the same time giving myself a little grace. It's one of those things that I think that I put that line in the song to also remind myself that like it's okay to feel that way. You just have to figure it out. I think that's what I try to remind everybody is like you can't sit in that feeling for too long, or else you're using it as a crutch. You owe the world finding your place in it. The world doesn't owe you that. And so I think it's really important that like that line kind of encompasses everything. These the people in this room doing this, it's crazy.
It's not that. That was the biggest bomb drop ever on the story behind. I'm gonna write that in my book. Yeah.
Archibald novel coming soon. The Chronicles of Archibald. Sorry about your name.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I love that. And I mean, you're saying so many deep things. I'm gonna start crying just now. Another line that I love, and because it's something, and in the entertainment industry, which we are both a part of, it is so rough. There are so many doubts, and to hear the line, "Maybe I quit," I was like, yeah, maybe I quit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm seconds away from me breaking. Maybe I quit.
Like, I mean, that must hit you in a different way now, a few months, after the song's been released, and now you hit it there, you hear it there, you hear people love it, you hear people relate to it. How does it feel now, months after listening to that?
I find myself a lot of times, a lot of weeks saying maybe I quit. I still say it. I think, again, it's one of those things that, like, give yourself the power to feel that way and then give yourself the power to do something about it. That's just what we're human beings. And like the amount of people that I know who have woken up one day and they're like, whoa, I quit. Whether it's on a deeper level, a more emotional level, or a job or a relationship or whatever it is. And I think that giving yourself the power to say, I can say that if I want because I'm in control of my life, and then holding yourself accountable and being able to say, okay, but do I really want this? And pushing yourself out of that feeling. I think that's the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves. And that's, again, like the other line, that's kind of what that line was for me, is giving myself the power and then doing something about it.
You're so cool.
I've been in so much therapy, dude.
You're so cool. I can
Shout out Cecilia, baby.
Shout out big time. You're inspiring me. I love this. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. That's the story behind with Jamie Fine on the Top 40 on 5.
I'm seconds away from me breaking.